Well, let me introduce my friend. This is my R2-D2, and we're EMMC, and we were just returning from doing some pediatric visits, and we were kind of attacked by the children. And this is kind of the story of my life with R2-D2. R2 is 200 pounds, just under 4 feet tall, and the premise behind that, in building R2-D2, it was in memory of my godson, Jake. This is Jake Libby. He passed away when he was 6 years old of brain cancer, and I was, I think it was my low 20s when he passed away, but what I learned, the big lesson here was when I was seeing all the suffering he was going through and going through his cancer, so many people were going out of their way to make this little boy happy. I wanted to pay it forward. I stumbled on a builder's club that builds R2-D2s, and that's my way of paying it forward. Now, everyone always asks, what's R2 made of? This is $750 worth of aluminum. This is the structure that is basically the R2-D2 is built on. It's all aircraft grade, it's super, super light. Here is why I'm single. My spare bedroom. My spare bedroom, as you can see, as R2 was coming together, we get the legs on the floor down there, we got the power drill, we got the bar DVDs, we've got the other hardware over here. But over the months, I accumulated all the pieces and slowly started piecing this guy together. So after some paint, a lot of paint, doing paint over again, working with aluminum, working with epoxy, a lot of colorful metaphors, we got him to this point, and you can see the second one's coming along, and you can see a little Hasbro toy one on the left. What's remarkable is that thing is nuts on accurate as far as details. So that was my reference. Now, people and kids all want to know what's inside R2-D2 with the electronics, what's it look like. I don't know anything about electronics, but here I am. On the left, you've got the motor controllers that control the feet, you got the power distribution, you got wires that go everywhere, and it's a darn fine mess, but it works. The kids also want to know what the dome looks like. What's under the head? How do you make the, how do you do the lights? How do you do the blinky things? How do you get the periscope to go up? Well, this is what the inside of R2's head looks like. There's about 9 servo motors in there, then you get the little holo projector thing, and you get the lights. And if something doesn't light up, it's a real panic attack for me to try to find out, where did I goof up here? So in building an R2-D2, I got to learn how to write software, and what I did is, using Microsoft Visual Basic, I wrote a small program, and it uses an Xbox controller because Xbox controller is available anywhere. And what I do is I use this little software program with a little netbook inside of R2, and that's what triggers all the sounds, beeps, chirps, and whistles. And here we are, hooray, it's together, and we are at the EMMC pediatric floor. And it was a long haul to get here. We did a lot of consulting with the child life specialist to make sure that, first of all, R2-D2 was safe. Yes, R2-D2 has to be insured. That was an interesting call to Geico. I didn't know which number to press. And we're doing right now what are some of our favorite things to do is we're doing pediatric visits. People often ask, do I have more pictures of some of the pediatric stuff I've done with the privacy laws, HIPAA, what have you, and quite frankly, I got my hands full of remote controls, and I'm trying not to run over something that has poop or pee, so I don't take a whole lot of pictures. But that's part of what we do. This is at the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, and we were just wrapping up some visits, and this little guy down here, if R2-D2 didn't make any sounds, he would bawl. If R2-D2 played music, he would clap and do his thing. So here he is, clapping happy, and R2 is playing the Bee Gees' Staying Alive. One of the best things about doing this stuff has been the media has been very intense and wanted to find out about it. So during one of our pediatric visits, the press was there, and this little guy was one of our visitors that day, and he had the privilege of finding out through his friends that, hey, guess what, you're on AOL.com. So, you can't buy this kind of surprise for a little guy like that. Now, one of the fun things along the way is you run into all kinds of difficulties. R2-D2 likes to get stuck. So the kids kept on mentioning, well, I use rollerblade wheels. They're kind of bouncy. They move around. And I thought, well, that's crazy. Well, guess what? It works. Well, of course, Halloween. You got to have an R2-D2 for Halloween. My mom and dad asked me to bring R2-D2 out for Halloween where they live on Bangor's Fairmount Park. And we were expecting maybe 100, 200, 300 kids. They got about 500, 600 and some odd. So if you'd like to donate to Ray and Jackie Busier's Candy Fund, they'd probably really appreciate it. We get a lot of visitors, but it's great. We've also got a lot of requests. I say we, it sounds like we're a couple, like the odd couple here. But we get a lot of requests to go to schools and also, various charity organizations. So this was Old Town Elementary's career day. And I tried to explain to them, I don't do this for a career. I'm an IT guy. Doctors and nurses break computers, I fix them. And this is what we're doing. And one of my favorite things is the kids are not very shy. They reach right over and how do you make this work? What does this button do? And that's what this little guy is doing right here. He really wanted to know how the sounds happen. What do you do? What's this? I have an Xbox. Why doesn't mine do this? And so, from the mouth of babes. Now, some of you may have heard about Dinner with the Smileys and Sarah Smiley, and we were one of the guests. We were dinner guest number 19, and I pulled a surprise for them. I did a lot of work. I was able to get in touch with the husband. He made a short video, and during our dinner, I had a projection come out, and there is Dustin Smiley, Sarah Smiley's husband, and gave a nice greeting. And this is the best part about what I do. I tell friends, if my house catches fire, I don't care about, the furniture, well, what little I have, the R2-D2s, the big screen TV. I just want the pets to be out, and I want these letters. Because when you get letters like this, you know you're doing something right. Now, I've got to meet some famous people. So you'll be happy to know that Republicans like R2-D2. This was at our gathering for when Mr. Smiley came back home. It was our dessert with the Smileys, and we had a chance to meet Senator Collins, and we've gotten to meet a lot of interesting people over the last couple of years. As you can see, one particular gentleman, he's kind of a shady character, but you may have seen him. But it's been a real interesting time. You would not expect a little R2-D2 to teach you so much about philanthropy, about people, about love, about paying it forward.